welcome to London Paddington Station. So this evening we're going to be doing the Night Riviera, which is a train service running from London Paddington to Penzance in Cornwall, so about the far southwest of the country. So we're going as far as a little village called Parr, and then there I'm going to be changing trains because I need to catch a flight from Newquay tomorrow morning. However, it should still be a pretty good experience, and I'm looking forward to it. And we've got one of the cabins and everything booked as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Let's go and see what the experience is like. Paddington Station then. Well, for what is probably quite an old building, inside it's very fresh and modern looking, and it's very open and airy as well. So yeah, quite a nice place to hang about for a couple of hours, and there's no shortage of shops or restaurants, cafes to sit down in for a couple of hours if you need to. Yeah, I was a little bit lost for a second, but I managed to kind of orientate myself and find out where my train was departing from, which was actually platform 1, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, now there should be a first-class lounge here that I should be entitled to use because we have a cabin booked. So, not too sure it is. I should have probably used Google before I arrived, but we'll have a wander around. I'm sure we'll find it somewhere. And with that, I went looking for the lounge. And on my way there, I was hoping to bump into Paddington Bear, who normally sits by platform 1, but he has been moved to platform 12. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to go looking for him over there because I had to go meet my friend, and I had a little prank I wanted to go and pull on this particular friend before we set off on our journey. I'll leave that between me and him. So then I went back looking for the lounge just so I knew where it was, and it's actually here on platform 1. And as you can see, there's a sign there just detailing who's allowed in there. And as you can see, I'm a little bit early. So what that's telling me is I'm a little bit early, so I'm going to have to go and sit out and prep, or so we have a coffee for an hour. A little bit weird that you can't go in a bit earlier, but I guess they don't want it being overcrowded, because most people are probably catching commuter trains out here and will be out of it quite quickly. So, oh well, coffee it is. I went and had my coffee, and then I came back to platform 1 to see that our train had arrived. And as you can see, it's quite an old piece of rolling stock that's going to be powering our journey today, and the same with the carriages. They are quite a few years old, but they have been quite recently refurbished in the last sort of decade or so, and probably within the last few years. So the facilities on board are quite comfortable from what I can see. Yeah, I still had a little bit of time to wait before I could go into the lounge, and obviously I was still waiting for my friend to arrive at this point as well, because obviously I needed to go and pull that prank on him. But it wasn't too much longer, and we were able to go into the GWR lounge further up this platform. As sleeping cabin passengers, myself and my friend were entitled to use the GWR First Class Lounge, and here it is in all its glory. We didn't get a chance to look around the whole lounge, because as I say, we got here fairly late, and we didn't have really much time to go exploring everywhere, but we managed to sit down, grab yourself a bottle of water, coffee, tea, all those facilities are there. They used to serve sandwiches in this lounge, but that has been suspended pre-COVID, and I don't believe that is due to come back in, at least in the immediate future, but possibly in the longer term. So for now, it is basically just sort of snacks, bottles of water, biscuits, etc. So tonight we're in Coach F, which is right in front of us here. So let's get on board and see what it's like. Yeah. Oh. Old style doors. The old toilets there, it's good to know. Identifying your room is a bit of a challenge, as you will discover with the conversation I have with my fellow passengers.
04. Does that mean this? I don't know.
Right, I've got to work out how the room numbering works.
Do you have any idea?
Okay, so it's room, so berths 24 and 23. As you can see, it's in a double bunk layout because I'm sharing with a friend, so a little bit crammed, but we will make it work. And of course there's a little sink underneath here, look. Good to know. One thing you do notice very quickly is how narrow the corridors are as a result of Britain's Victorian railways.
There's not many places where I feel like I'm a big person.
I know. I always call myself a small man because I'm only 5'9".
My shoulders are rubbing on the sides. And I'm not used to that.
Joys of Victorian railways, eh? And just as we were commenting about the narrow corridors, this is where the sleeping cabin attendant actually asked me to go outside and go round rather than going through the train to get to the lounge car, just because of the narrow corridors, and she was obviously checking everybody in at that moment. Busy in here tonight. But perfect looking chairs. You can get a complimentary tea and water and biscuits, or you can pay for a spirit. In this particular clip, you get to see my strategy for dealing with the narrow corridors.
Oh, this is tricky.
This hospital driving anyway. Okay, so welcome to the toilet on the Night Riviera. So as you can see, I'm just going to go back to the lounge car and have my bottle of wine and just had a glass of whiskey, which makes me feel very old. I'm only 22 and I'm drinking whiskey, but there we go, it's nice to help you sleep. But yeah, the toilet's pretty nice. It's pretty standard for a train toilet really, but obviously you've got an actual toilet there with water in it, which is quite unusual nowadays because normally most trains have vacuum toilets. So yeah, a bit of a nicer touch. Yeah, very clean and tidy. As I say, got the usual sort of automatic tap there, hand dryer as well there. See what works as well. So yeah, nice toilet. And here we are, just pulling into Reading. So I'm just about to go to sleep now, but as you see, we're just pulling into Reading for our sort of initial stop. Now I've sort of stayed up and had a bit of alcohol, so I had a bit of whiskey and I'm turning quite old, and a bottle of wine, but that'll help me sleep hopefully. But it's reasonably quiet on the train, so hopefully it'll be all right. But yeah, but there's Reading, a nice rainy, wet old station there with not much to look at, but there we go. Right, so I've got the privilege of going up the ladder, look, because I'm on the top bunk tonight. One of the things when you're sharing with somebody has to do the top bunk bit, but tonight that's going to be me. So, right, up we get. And here we are, in bed for the night. So, yeah, just about going to sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Take care. Okay, so a room tour in the dark. We are looking at the night light up there, and you can turn this on if you want a little bit of ambient light while you're asleep. And looking from the upper bunk, you've got power sockets by the side of your bed as well. A call button there for the sleeping attendant, and if you need any support, light switches there. And this controls all the main lights, and of course the 3-pin socket there as well. And this is replicated on both the upper and lower berths as well, if both passengers need access to those. If you're like me and you're not the best sleeper, there's plenty of scenery to look out when it does start to get a little bit lighter, and as you can see, there is a little bit of bushery, but we do eventually come out into the open here, and there's plenty of amazing scenery to see through Cornwall here. So that kept me entertained for a good hour or two. So, first time I've had a shave on the train, but it's always the first time for everything. So should be getting our breakfast very shortly, but seeing as I was already awake, I thought I'd just come and freshen up and everything quickly. No showers on the Night Riviera, so it is literally just the kind of toilets that you get to use. But that's okay, it's really quite a short journey anyway, and you know, we'll be fine. I can freshen up properly later when I go to my hotel up in Doncaster when I get there. But yeah, I'd say alright night's sleep, but like I said, I think it was more me than the train really. I think I struggle sometimes with new environments getting to sleep and with the noise and everything, but it's comfortable enough, and my friend said to me he slept well enough, so yeah, I think it's a good experience. A very nice way to travel overall. It's certainly much nicer than the average commuter train would be if you were going from Penzance to London all the way, well, that's quite a long journey, and the same on the roads. You know, the kind of roads that part of the country can be a bit troublesome at times. So yeah, good experience overall. So yeah, I'll finish up my shave and then we'll see what the breakfast is looking like. So, time for our breakfast. I've gone for the sort of pastry option to try and go for something that's sort of kind of healthy, I guess. I've got the pain au chocolat there, though there is the option of a bacon roll or porridge. And a cup of tea, that's always nice to have in the morning. And then we've got obviously some milk for the tea. Other biscuits as well. Seems to be one of many biscuits. I've got a load of Biscoffs in my rucksack there, but I've got these to have as well. So yes, I shall say, well, nothing really that special about it, but it is good to get you going for the day. And we should be putting up to par, you know, in the next sort of 25 minutes, half an hour. So yeah, I'm gonna get on and enjoy my tea and my pain au chocolat. Very shortly after having that breakfast, we were on approach to par, and yeah, so all in all, a very good experience. I was very comfortable. The staff were very attentive as well. I mean, the attendant who's looking after us was always very attentive, and you know, made sure we got off the train at the right time and everything. So yeah, thumbs up to GWR there. I'd definitely like to do it again, going the whole length of the line sometime, but you know, that'll be for maybe sometime next year. And yeah, so yeah, thanks very much for joining me on this trip, and a big thanks to Andrew, my friend, for joining me as well, and I'll see you all next video. Bye for now.